Welcome to this tutorial to the scenario version of the Power Market Simulator. In this tutorial, I will show you how to create scenarios for the development of the electricity production system, and I will also show you how you can change the technical financial data in the projections. And finally, I will show you how you can visualize the results of these scenarios. But let us go to the Power Market Simulator. From a user perspective, the scenario version of the Power Market Simulator only differs from the hour version in that the user can do investment calculations here and see the results of the investment calculations here. The user can also change the data that are used in order to calculate investments. And this is done here in the build automatically part here, where the user can set the time period, some variables that is used in order to do the calculation, and change the investment data for each of the technologies that can be invested in, and the capacity of the different uh, technologies here. And if you want to calculate the profit for a specific existing power plant, you can do it here. Choose the area and the production unit you want to calculate the profit for. But let us go through these parameters one at a time. Here we start up. We can say the period we will calculate for will start here in year 2025, and we will do calculations until 35 here. These parameters here say something about the time step. If I have a time step of 5 years, this means that the first calculation will be done here in year 2025, and the next calculation will be done in year 2030, and the final calculation will be done here in year 2035. The other parameters here is used when in the optimization here, and they are explained in another video showing how the scenario model is working. Here you set the interest rate when you are doing investments here, and this here is a value for the number of time groups. We do not calculate 8,760 hours a year. We make some time groups where we assume that in within a group the market situation will be the same for all hours in one group. And here you define how many groups you will do calculate for a year. When you go here to the economical data here, you choose the technology. This is the technologies you can invest in. And if we, for instance, say that we want to see the data for photovoltaic here, you can see here that these data here is the investment cost of photovoltaic. This is the variable uh, operation and maintenance cost. This is the fixed cost per year. This is the efficiency, and this is the technical lifetime. If you are not satisfied with these figures here, you can change them and save them here. And that, of course, you can do for all the different technologies that can be invested in. In this here, the total capacity, it is in fact, you define here if you want, for instance, want to um, for for Germany, Luxembourg here, you choose the technology again, solar. If you say that there's a limit for how much capacity that can be invested within Germany and Luxembourg, you set this capacity limit here. If you don't set a capacity limit, then the model will be able to invest in all the photovoltaic units that are economical to invest in. And this here is if you again choose an area, Germany, for instance, here, Luxembourg, you can choose a technology here. And then if you say, okay, I want to calculate the profit of this unit here in this period for year 2025 to year 2035, you say here, add this as a power plant that you want to have the data for, the total profit for in this time period. So this here is the data you can change for the automatically investments that you perform. When you set these data here, you will just click on the areas you want to do calculations for, and then you say, okay, now I want to calculate investment. So now we calculate investments for Poland and the Czech Republic. And when we've done these calculations here, we can show the results here, show investments here. And this here is the financial data for both of the areas. But if you want to see what has been invested in, you can see here in Poland, you start investing a lot in photovoltaic and in onshore wind. And in the Czech Republic here, you also invest in photovoltaic and in onshore wind. So this is how you can see the investments. If we, for instance, say here that we assume that the investments in photovoltaic is very high, and this is due to that in the model we have a too low investment cost. We can change that. For, remember here that we have invested in 17,000 megawatts. If I go here and say now I close down this here, and then I change the data for photovoltaic here, and say that instead of the 405,000 euros per megawatt, I say now I assume that the cost here will be 600,000 euros per megawatt here, and then I save here the values, and I do another investment calculation here. Calculate investment. Now the calculation has finished, and I click here on the show investment, and I can see here that now we have invested less in photovoltaic. In the first calculation it was 17,000, now it is 10,000 megawatt, and the investments in onshore is nearly the same. If I want only to see the investments in Poland or in the Czech Republic, I go here, click down this one here, and then I say if I wanted to see the results for Poland, then I click again here on show investment, and then I get the data for only Poland and the investments in Poland. I can do the same for the Czech Republic. So when you're going to make calculations here, you only have to scenario calculations, you only have to click on the areas that should be included in your calculation, and then click on this here, calculate investment, and then you can see the results here. The scenario version functions in the same way as the hour version in the fact that you can right click here, for instance, on Poland, and then you can see the supply curve here and the demand curve here in year 2035. And you can see here, this is the unit, the photovoltaic that we invested in year 2025. And this here is the onshore unit that we invested in year 2025. So you can see the results here. You can also click on do an hour calculation here in the year 2035 for different hours here and do a quick calculation and see the results of such a calculation. This here was the tutorial explaining the scenario version of the Power Market Simulator. Now you can go in the model and do your own research with the model.